Okay, this is kind of weird. I... Yeah. Welcome back, dudes and dudesses, to today's video, which is gonna be a really weird one, I think. But it so happens that in my forever world, I like to build things that are inspired by real buildings, real historic places. For instance, if you haven't been watching my series, I have an island, my main base, which is very much inspired by the French island in Normandy, Le Mont Saint-Michel. And of course, I don't follow it, brick for brick. I'm just inspired by the look and the feel of it and the history of it. It has been my main project since 1.16, and now I need a break from it. And for the longest time, I have been fascinated by another historical place. I don't know, I'm probably butchering the pronunciation now, but it sounds like, or it looks like Shibam. It's a place in Yemen. It's the world's oldest high-rise city, a collection of skyscrapers built of mud up to 11 stories high, and it's been fascinating me for such a long time. And now we have this new snapshot and we have new blocks. So I wanted to give it a go. Can I build something like it with the feel of it that can be used in my forever world? And that's what this video is all about. Now, as I said, I don't want to do this like brick for brick or block for block. I just want the feel of it. And one thing that's certainly not in that original city is a pool. I have placed the emphasis on water here rather more than they do in that city, because they don't have much water, or rather they do have. They have floods, which is why the city is built up on a wall like this. Yemen's all-wall city of Shibam is regarded as the oldest metropolis in the world to use vertical construction, and the ancient mud skyscraper city is often called the Manhattan of the desert. Now, the reason that some of it is brownish, which is, mud, and we use the mud blocks right here, and some of it is white, as I understand it, is because it shields the heat. So very often the top part, or the part that is turning towards south, is painted white. But if you look at a lot of pictures of the city, and I urge you to do so, it's very interesting. You can see that it doesn't look like it's absolutely systematic. It's like there's been a culture about it. So sometimes it's brown, sometimes it's white, and there's a few other colors as well. Now, I have used this material, the primary material here, bone block, in my industrial area as well, and this will probably be somewhere in the vicinity of my industrial area. Another thing that they don't actually do in the original city, probably because it is way too dry, is have these plant boxes on the roof. But I wanted to give this some life, so I also have water towers on the roof, which is more like a New York American style thing. But otherwise, I have tried to go for the feel of it. So it's like it's a mud city. If we go around it like this, you can see there is no main side. I haven't decided which one is like the main side of it. And you can see I use a lot of new blocks. The shelves are so good for making, what's it called on the windows? These ones. It just looks so much better than trapdoors. So I've used a whole lot of those. And I use the forms where you often see that they have kind of this built on top so they can get up on the roof, and these cuttings. So I've done a lot of these in these buildings. I have to say, you can see this. This is a new thing. This is the mannequins that you can spawn in. And if we go back up here and we just close this off again, and you can see the way I did this, it's very easy. If I just do like this, summon Minecraft mannequin, this is the location. It could be numbers, just, and then this brackets, profile, and then you can summon in a player that is registered with Mojang. Like this. And there I am, and I still think it's cursed to look at myself in this way. But I actually do consider, in my world, I have the ability to do stuff like that in my server world. So I kind of, I'm considering it, even though it's not perfectly vanilla survival. I would like to have some of these guys around, just, you know, hanging out, giving it life. It's a bit more lifelike than just using armor stands, I think. I have to say, there's nothing, there's absolutely nothing inside of these houses. I haven't been able to spend that much time with it. And the idea in my Forever World is that I want to use this for a villager trading hall. Basically, all the lower floors will be villagers. I will put in their workstations and they will walk around. And when I need to get something from them, I will get here and I will find them in the different buildings. And probably a lot of the houses won't get function on the top floors. It will just be decorations. This is another side, and you can see I'm trying to vary it. I've been having a lot of fun trying to use different blocks like this. This is not supposed to be here. I used the wrong tree, I think. Much better. If you look at a lot of pictures from the city, you can see there's also some quite fanciful buildings, and some that are like symmetrical, but it's developed over time. So the city itself is actually quite old. It's more than 1,000 years old. In 1982, it was made UNESCO World Heritage, but it dates back to the 3rd century CE, and once was the capital of an ancient region of the southern Arabia called Hadramaut. I probably butchered that totally as well. Today, many of the buildings can be dated back to the 16th century, and as I said, they're made of mud brick. Its elevated position, you can see right here, it shows it from the floods, but the proximity to the water is the way they get food, agriculture. This is a very, very interesting way of building that I would really like to use. Now, if we go down here, as I said, some of them have floors, some of them have not, but I've tried to make it like, oh, who's that? Oh, that's a nice face, I think. So this is a square. In here, you can see we have a well and camels, because why not? We need to have camels in here. And you can walk around this city and get a really nice feel for something. I don't know what it is. Of course, I think to some degree this turns out to be hello. This turns out to be, it seems maybe a bit more modern, and I'm not sure I can get around that or how I should get around that, but I'm still satisfied. I think the main ingredients is the mud. I just think it looks very, very nice, and it's hello, you're there. And I have a lot of cats in here as well. And I think this would be a beautiful way to have your villagers in Minecraft. And it's also a way for me to use the same kind of block palette, making things look old by having these gradients in there sometimes. And even sometimes, if we go, where did I have it? Some of the houses are kind of falling apart. I have used that in some of the walls. Like here, for instance, part of it is shelling off. And I'm using the exact same blocks that I used in the industrial area to make it look like concrete, even though here it just needs to be white painted mud, because that is basically what they use. Look at this, for instance. You could never do this, something like this, before we had these shelves. Now there's a lot you can do to get more details. For instance, here I've used the back side of the shelves like this, and I used the shelves to put in small things to make it more, more details. And I think this is really gonna make a difference in my building, and probably everyone's building going forward, that we have these shelves. Now I hope that this build might inspire you, and you can see some possibilities to use these blocks in your own world. This is actually the snapshot world where I built my copper golem storage, and it has changed several times what they do with the copper golems. So I wanted to show you something. Now we're in here, so if you've been hanging on so far, I have something technical to show you. If we go up here, you can see that over here is where I have this. Now, I did actually change this up to have like the last chest up here, because it was easier. Then you didn't need this clock to pump the residual, all the things that are not in the chests, over to the next chest right here. But I actually discovered with the latest change that if I do that, so that this last chest is up here, for some reason it makes the golems walk down there, and they see the chest, but they go all the way back before they go all the way down there and put it in. But if you keep it at the same level, then they put it in the first time. And then I think that the clock, even though it's a bit more redstone-y, is faster than having the chest up here. Let me just show you. So here I am in a backup of the world we were in before, and I actually changed it. I didn't make a video on it, but so you can see the guys can go down here and they can put the stuff that they can't find in these chests, in this chest, and then you don't need the redstone clock. It will just flow over to the next input chest. However, that doesn't really work as intended. So if I put something like that in here, and you can see the guys here, they take it and they walk down here. By the way, I also put in vines, because a YouTube comment that Mumbo had used, I think he used a different kind of vine, but so that they don't collide. So that's a good trick. But you can see they go along and they can't find it in here, and then they should put it in here. They did before, but in the new snapshot, the latest snapshot, for some reason, they don't. They stop right here with that chest. And then they go back. Look at this guy. He was the first one. And then he goes there and looks again. And then he goes back, and then he starts looking in the chests that he has already looked in. And he ends up often going all the way down here, as you can see. And they're following him. And no, you can still not put it in there. And then they start the other way. And then on round 2, he doesn't open any chests, but go all the way down here and put it in there. So that's why I changed it back to having a hopper clock here, so he will put it in here the first time he reaches that chest. That was all I had to tell you and show you this time. Of course, as always, I will leave a world download of this in my Discord community. And if you watched this far, do leave a like, do leave a comment. If you're brand new, subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye.